Hey, this is Mike Lindsay from VitalMX, and we have another announcement in relation to the upcoming 2022 FIM World Supercross Championship. We have another two teams that have been officially locked in and announced. This will bring the total of announced teams up to 9 of the 10 that they will have in this series, which will have sort of their own, ownership stake in terms of their spot in the series. We've talked about a lot in other past videos. If you want to learn more about that, search back. We have content we've been doing on this series now for the past few months. But either way, we got 2 more locked in. One of them we really heavily expected. It's been one we've been waiting for since basically the first team has been announced, and pretty much everybody that is following this storyline kind of was aware this team was in the running. The second one was a little bit more of a surprise. So starting off with the first one, it is Honda Genuine Honda Racing. So it means it's like Honda Genuine Parts is the primary name title sponsor of it. This is Yuriv Konski's team. He is the man that operates the Australian Honda HRC program. So he runs the factory Honda motocross and supercross efforts down there. Also involved in multiple other facets of racing with Honda. Here in the US, he has operated a team now for 3 years. The first year, it was known as Penrite Honda. That was more of an extension directly of his Australian effort. That was their title sponsor at the time, Penrite being an Australian oil brand and lubricants brand. And then the second year, they were known as Muc-Off Honda, which ultimately that sponsorship ended up moving over to the club team this year. And then this year, they were known as Firepower Honda, which is a hard parts and accessory brand through WPS. So we've been talking about this for a little while announcements. We kept referencing Firepower Honda because we knew that Yuriv's world team would involve more of the staff that's being built for this US team, which part of that is true, but they have gone ahead for the world side. It is, again, Honda Genuine Honda Racing. Logo labels as the Honda World Supercross team. We do know that from talking to some of the other teams involved, there isn't a lot from American Honda that's going into this in terms of support. Being with Yuriv's relationship being maybe beyond that, he has maybe been able to get something directly from Japan from Honda. We're not sure. Either way, he is entering. It does bring another Honda team into the fold alongside the Moto Concepts group. The reason we believe it's taken this long is each announcement that has come out, we believe that the teams have just signed the contract shortly before it. So whether there were things to work through, even maybe some stuff on Yuriv's end, we know that each team that's done this, while they have been excited, they are, trying to figure out how this all works within their budgets, considering it's pretty hard to go to brands this late in the season, get extra money. Everybody's just kind of trying to figure out how to make it work. So theirs has finally been announced. There is no rider announcement. However, it did announce that Martin Davalos would be kind of heading up and managing the day-to-day operations for this more. Martin was hired this year to sort of take over the day-to-day running of the U.S. side of the team, again, the Firepower Honda team, and it'll work really well if that side of his operation is the extension that goes into Global Supercross, because, again, he'll probably utilize guys that are racing down here in the U.S. a bit on the team. The equipment down here is going to be more Supercross focused, considering that team is basically Supercross only. They are racing some outdoor nationals with ANSD right now, but that's just kind of to work with ANSD, figure him out, race. It doesn't sound like long-term you'll see them racing U.S. nationals. The effort here in the U.S. would race U.S. Supercross, and then a lot of that staff members, riders, and equipment would get transferred over into World Supercross, considering those seasons won't really conflict. With that, though, the riders, we are aware that Max Anstey has a deal in place to continue with the team for U.S. Supercross into World Supercross and potentially even Oz Supercross. We believe Dean Wilson is close to a deal or may already have one. There is still rumors floating around. We did a rumor mill about Ken Roxon possibly needing there because of his Honda relationship or, trying to continue it. We'll have to see if that does end up panning out. There seems to be a little bit all over the place if he is going to be there or isn't as of now. And then lastly, we've heard a couple other Americans they're interested in. If not, we believe that they will just go with one of their Australian racers, Wilson Todd, who again has raced on the world circuit. The second team is the Muc-Off FXR ClubMX Yamaha team. Now this one caught us a little bit more by surprise. We did hear some interest from them early on in the series, and it's been kind of quiet since. They have been announced as the effort, or the 9th of the 10 efforts in this series. it is announced as Brandon Haas and Scott Jeffries is the team owner. Brandon Haas, of course, is known as the owner of ClubMX, owner of the ClubMX team. Scott Jeffries is, I believe he is a Canadian home builder. I may have it wrong. He has been involved in the club team for many years now, been involved in Canadian motocross. He is a sponsor currently of the team and seems to be a little bit more involved as they move into this world effort alongside Brandon and taking their brand and team to the worldwide stage. Now, for them, it gets interesting because similar to the HEP team, they still have a lot of commitments for US Supercross. Or like a lot of these smaller teams, they have some sort of regional stuff or national series they are committed to. In the case of the club team, yes, the 3 rounds at the end of this year, they have the ability to basically take their existing team and go run it because there's no conflicts in schedule. So we believe that Phil Nicoletti, Enzo Lopes, and Jeremy Martin will race it. We have heard that Garrett Marchbanks may not line up in the 3 rounds of World this year, may take some time off, so they might be looking for another rider. We heard the name Cole Thompson thrown around possibly for that spot. Then moving into next year, though, they have Jeremy, Enzo, Phil, and Marchbanks all signed to race in the U.S. for Supercross on 250s, then race outdoors with Marchbanks, Nicoletti, and Jeremy Martin, with Enzo Lopes being on a Supercross-only deal so he can race Brazilian Supercross during the summer because he's from Brazil, there's really good money, fanfare down there for him. All that team is committed to the U.S. Nationals, to U.S. Pro Motocross. A lot of their sponsorship deals are. So for the second year, they may have to go out and find a totally new team to go race World Supercross, unless they work out something where some of those guys get swapped out. But as of now, we wouldn't terribly expect to see anybody really from the U.S. program be involved in World Supercross in terms of riders for the 2023 World Supercross Championship Series. So that's the news we know now. Again, there is one more team to be announced. There's a couple different rumors floating around that it might be a brand new team out of Indonesia. There will be a race in Indonesia this year. There's rumors of an Italian-based team that maybe races EMX. We also have heard of maybe one MXGP team that's interested. But those are about the 3 we keep hearing the most commonly. Hopefully, we're getting close in July. All the teams are supposed to be announced before this month is up, so we imagine we will see that one within the next 2 to 3 weeks. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments section below. Subscribe, like. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.